the brain lag that I have today is pretty good. Pretty severe. I have coffee. I have water. We are live. We're gonna be good. The lore video, just to make sure because this is the one that I saved in my watch later. It's the Hitchhiker's Guide to Talos 2 Arcanite's Enfield lore by Ashikai. Correct, that's the correct one to word and letter. And maybe even sentences, although no promises. Probably not paragraphs, but I might be able to muster out a couple of sentences. I am cooking up something small. It's not a big video, but something small to enter Snezhnaya alongside. So I'm super excited and really weirded out at how close we are. Anyways. Enfield Day, kicking off with the, you know what I don't have saved is the comic, actually, the manga. Let me look in my saved tabs. Would you guys like to see my saved tabs? Oh, you know what else is in my saved tabs? Is this Snezhnaya Awaits web event. That's not it. I have a lot of bookmarks, as you guys have seen before. I don't actually. It's the one with cute Perlica, right? As if there's an uncute Perlica. Is it specifically an Enfield comic? Was it The Promise? Is that what I'm looking for? It is. I remember. It opens on Dijang, doesn't it? This one, correct? The Promise. Okay, cool. That's not super long either. We can hop into that afterwards, I believe. And then some small little questing. Pardon? That's this plane. Excuse me. Oh, trailers as well. Holy shit, we have so much to watch. Let's just hop into the lore video first and foremost. I have my coffee here. Okay, I'll be pausing a bit. I'm gonna try not to make this. It's a half hour. I'm gonna try not to make it 2 hours of just this one video. But it's exciting because I didn't play the first Arknights game, so this will get me acquainted with the universe. That's quite the sentence. All right.
Picking up a new game is always a lot of fun, but sometimes getting familiar with the deep lore and the terminology and the mechanics can be a little challenging. Now, I don't struggle too much with fantasy games personally, but when it comes to sci-fi, oh boy. Technobabble makes my brain shut down almost immediately, and sci-fi games are full of technobabble. And even when the technobabble means something, I've still always had a hard time with it. Now, I know I'm not the only one who has this problem, and I also think that when the lore and terminology comes at you too hard, too fast...
I've never seen Yvonne's, menu animation.
can really hinder your enjoyment of the story that's being presented. So I decided to make and compile explanations for everything that I thought was underexplained in the main quests, and then put them all in one handy little video, which is this. So that means important terminology, mechanics, and really basic historical context. Not a lot, but enough for you to be able to understand what's going on when. My hope is that this will help increase people's enjoyment of the story because you won't be getting so bogged down in the details. And I think it'll also help with learning new terminology because you'll already have the contextual framework to build upon. But even I have to admit that my explanations are basically useless if you don't have a means to play the game, which is why I'm excited to be partnering with Red Magic's 11 Air gaming phone, because this little bundle of technological marvels is about as sci-fi as a phone gets without being a hologram. And I'm not kidding either. This thing's got processing power up the wazoo, because Red Magic stuffed not one, but 2 CPUs into this baby.
I might talk over it slightly though. So the first Arknights game wasn't that long ago. I don't know why, for some reason in my brain I think that the first Arknights game was like 10 years ago. My 2019. My brain thinks that it was like Mass Effect era. And I don't know why I think that. Because it was a the original Arknights was a or shit, no, I might be thinking of Girls Frontline. The first Girls Frontline was a durability thanks to its aluminum frame and Corning Gorilla Glass screen. Now that last part is a huge Plants vs Zombies style type of game. So if you're in the market for a new phone and you want something that's great for both everyday use, I guess 2019 was still 7 years ago. Big thanks to Red Magic 11 Air gaming phone for sponsoring this video. And now it is time for us to return to our topic at hand, explaining the historical and contextual lore and mechanics of Arknights Enfield. And we're going to start things off by going over what you need to know from the previous game, which is technically spoilers for the previous game, so proceed at your own risk if you plan to play that. Which I don't think I do. Over 13,000 years ago, there existed a race of technologically advanced spacefaring humanoids called the predecessors. And when I say technologically advanced, I mean it. They could pull off incredible feats like controlling the orbit and rotational speed of entire planets. Holy shit. This is not a predecessor ship. It's the most impressive feat of engineering we see in the game so far, since it's literally the only spaceship that exists, okay? Rotational speed of entire planets. And they even created these incredible hibernation chambers called sarcophaguses that could heal and prolong the body's lifespan through cellular regression. But despite their vast knowledge and technology, the predecessors were almost completely annihilated overnight by a mysterious cosmic entity known only as the Observers. And just so you're aware, next to nothing is known about these Observers. We don't know what they actually look like, so keep pictures of the that's from Golden Sun. Except that they possess the miraculous ability to literally delete whatever they like from the universe. And I do mean that literally. When they attempt to annihilate or destroy something, they don't make it explode or crunch things into a small little... Is it possible to learn this power? How do you bulk delete? Anyways. When they attempt to annihilate or destroy something, they don't make it explode or crunch things into a black hole, they just negate the existence of their chosen target. The process is swift, silent, and so thorough that nothing detectable remains after the negation. What does that mean? Like down to the molecular level, or just literally rewrites the fact that they exist? Like is that like particle physics? Or is that like metaphysical? On controller, no clue. L1, gotcha. What does that mean? They negate the existence of their chosen target. Because that could be like molecular deletion, or that could be metaphysical deletion.
chosen target. The process is swift, silent, and so thorough that nothing detectable remains after the negation. And no one in or out of the games knows how this negation process works, and that includes the predecessors. And without knowing how the negation worked, they had no means to defend against it. So without a means to counter the observer threat, the predecessors fled their homeworld and ended up on Talos 2, a habitable moon orbiting the gas giant Talos.
This might be a clunky comparison, but the observers almost remind me of the no, that's a very clunky analogy, because they weren't a warring nation. I was going to equate them to the precursors from Subnautica, but the precursors were just highly advanced. And really the main thing about the precursors in Subnautica was just teleportation, which is like portals through space-time, or portals through like planet-to-planet portals. So forget that analogy. Maybe the Reapers. Maybe the Reapers. That also seems a bit clunkier, a bit clunky, but
It's unclear just how long the predecessors were on Talos 2, but it was apparently long enough for them to allegedly establish a temporary civilization and develop the cosmic gate technology, which they then used to escape to yet another planet in an undisclosed location.
right, they developed the cosmic gate, the Halo.
The planet called Terra. The predecessors effectively turned Terra into a planet-sized apocalypse bunker, destroying the cosmic gate behind them and blanketing the entire planet beneath the star pod, a barrier that hid the planet from the outside and prevented anything from entering or leaving Terra's airspace. Bunker, destroying the cosmic gate behind them, closed location, the planet called Terra.
Now, my brain's gonna have to remind myself that that is not Earth, because often in sci-fi, Earth is referred to as Terra.
The predecessors effectively turned Terra into a planet-sized apocalypse bunker, destroying the cosmic gate behind them and blanketing the entire planet beneath the star pod, a barrier that hid the planet from the outside and prevented anything from entering or leaving Terra's airspace.
That reminds me so much of the lunar veil.
This bought the predecessors enough time to investigate countermeasures against the observers. One such countermeasure was originium, a synthetic crystal developed by two genius predecessor scientists, codenamed Priestess and Oracle, later known as Doctor.
The Doctor. I thought that originium was naturally occurring. Synthetic crystal developed by two genius predecessor scientists. I thought it was a natural resource that was just available in the cosmos.
Predecessor scientists, codenamed...
And Talos 2 just happened to be one moon that that it was lush on.
Priestess and Oracle, later known as Doctor. This originium crystal was basically the ultimate form of data preservation, and would thus theoretically be capable of withstanding the negation abilities of the observers. So basically, it's the ultimate form of negation versus the ultimate form of preservation.
Interesting. Huh.
It's like an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. And while we don't know a lot about how the negation abilities of the observers work, we know quite a bit about how originium works. Basically, originium crystals function like recording devices that store data within a subspace repository that's accessible via all originium. And this subspace is called the assimilated universe, or the originium wood. You could probably liken the assimilated universe to a data center, and each originium crystal that can access that data center is like a computer or a phone. Now, in its default state, the assimilated universe appears as a giant golden sea of static data, which kind of reminds me of Evangelion's fantasy. But this assimilated universe space can be programmed, so to speak, by someone with control over the originium, which at this point in time seems to be just the priestess or the doctor, or potentially the administrator, since the three of them are the only ones who have true control over the originium as like a total substance. No.
That is an interesting thing that I've kind of held my tongue about it, because I'm just waiting to play more of the game and just get more into it. But isn't it odd that we have like that's our element?
Programming in this sense means defining the laws that rule this subspace universe. Laws like the laws of physics or how things manifest within the space. As far as I can tell, this phenomenon isn't relevant to what's going on Talos 2 yet, but it probably will be in the future, so I'm bringing it up. Now, Doctor and Priestess had a fundamental disagreement over how exactly Originium should be used.
Correction, Priestess... Correction, Priestess and Doctor seem to have been on the same page initially, but Doctor changed his mind later on.
But it does appear as though both of them agreed that they needed to download everything within Terra into the assimilated universe. This would allow for everything on the planet, including all of the predecessors who were hibernating in their sarcophaguses, to be preserved within the Originium in such a way that they could avoid observer detection forever. But this plan would take a lot of time. So the two of them inoculated the planet with the 3 Originium seeds that they made before going into hibernation while the Originium spread throughout the planet. But keep in mind, Terra was not a desolate planet. It was home to a lot of life forms, including one of Terra's native species, the Sarkaz. And
which is also what Mifu is.
this is where Doctor and Priestess's well-laid plans veered off course, because it turned out that constant exposure to Originium actually altered the evolutionary track of the Sarkaz, as well as countless other animal species that existed on Terra, some of which had been brought to Terra from Talos 2 by the predecessors.
Maybe one in the long area just showed are not the same species. I'm just using them to illustrate the point because they're both rabbit-like. Fair.
And the Originium's evolutionary adjustments to these life forms caused them to assume shapes that were similar to those of the predecessors, despite coming from a wide range of different species. And that's why everyone in Arknights and Enfield has animalistic characteristics, except for Endman, who's most likely related to the predecessors directly, especially since they seem to have their own sarcophagus.
And have control over Origin. Weird. Yeah, no humans besides us.
Sarcophaguses cannot be used by anyone except predecessors, because if anyone else uses a sarcophagus, the cellular regression technology it uses appears to have some sort of reaction with the data within Originium, which was responsible for the way these other races evolved, and that forces evolutionary regression, meaning if anyone except a predecessor uses a sarcophagus, they will revert back to a form resembling the one that their race originally descended from. That obviously doesn't happen to Endman, so they're probably predecessor-ish. Now, while Doctor, Priestess, and every other predecessor slept on Terra, these new Terrans developed an entire civilization that was centered around Originium, because as luck would have it, Originium could also be used not just for data preservation, but as a renewable power source. On the one hand, Originium energy was a blessing because not only was it abundant and energy dense, it was also able to replicate itself quite quickly, unlike regular crystals. And that is the perfect combination for a good renewable energy supply. But using Originium energy did have its drawbacks. For starters, Originium formation seems to exacerbate the severity of natural disasters like volcanic eruptions, floods, and earthquakes.
The lava hands aren't a real consequence of Originium, it's just a cool scene with lava.
And long-term exposure to active Originium through contact, proximity, or the ingestion of the particulate dust left over from extracting energy from the crystal can cause erypathy, a disease that causes the body to fully crystallize or sometimes mutate into a monstrous form. This disease is incurable and also fatal. And
is incurable, right?
Same way Originium burned for energy turns into a fine particulate dust, those infected with erypathy also have their crystallized bodies dissolve into that fine particulate dust upon their death. And
we have a in the profile, it does say, I haven't gone through everyone, but there is an erypathy positive or erypathy negative. There is like an erypathy colon section in everyone's profile.
Anyone who ingests that fine particulate dust runs the risk of developing erypathy themselves. In other words, it's highly contagious and this is how it spreads. For that reason, Terrans were really afraid of those who were infected with erypathy, and that fear led to a lot of discrimination and poor treatment. But that's not the case on Talos 2, because on Talos 2, erypathy is treatable with medicine, allowing the infected to lead more or less normal lives. Their condition is still terminal, and they will eventually, upon their death, turn into that fine particulate particulate dust, but because the disease is under control, you can also sort of predict and control the circumstances of the infected returning to dust, so to speak. That way you reduce the chances of the infection spreading to anybody else. But not everyone exposed to originium develops oropathy. In fact, most Terrans and Talosians can actually use originium as a catalyst for casting a type of magic known as originium arts. That means having a lot of exposure without contracting oropathy. That said, using originium arts while you have oropathy will accelerate the progression of the disease. So there is a little bit of a connection there. In any case, the people of Terra believed that the pros of using originium outweighed the cons. Now we're going to fast forward through a few thousand years of Terran history until we reach the discovery of the Cosmic Gate, the same one that the predecessors used to enter Terra all those years ago.
It reminds me of the humans discovering the first Mass Effect, the first mass relay, and how that catapulted their technology into the intergalactic.
Keep in mind that Terrans could
not thematically, just discovering a gate.
Now we're going to fast forward through a few thousand years of Terran history until we reach the discovery of the Cosmic Gate, the same one that the predecessors
because the first mass relay that the humans discovered was buried in, it was concealed as one of Saturn's moons or something. That I need to brush up on my Mass Effect history apparently.
Used to enter Terra all those years ago. Keep in mind that Terrans could not leave their planet even if they had the technology to do so because they cannot pass the star pod barrier.
Right.
So the discovery of the Cosmic Gate gave them another option to leave their planet and explore the universe outside. So a lot of factions came together to collaborate on researching and repairing this Cosmic Gate. And they were eventually successful in using the gate to reconnect Terra to Talos 2. But Terrans had no idea what to expect from the world beyond the gate, so they sent exploration teams through the gate first and slowly began building outposts with the intent to establish another civilization on Talos 2, providing the scouting teams could prove it was safe to do that. Now, because all Terrans are so dependent on originium as an energy source, they took one of the original 3 crystals and used it to inoculate Talos 2, the same way that Terra had been inoculated all those years ago. Now, in the time leading up to the repair of the Cosmic Gate, the Doctor had been roused from hibernation by a company called Rhodes Island. The Doctor and Rhodes Island apparently wanted some part of the exploration of Talos 2, so they put together a group that eventually became Enfield Industries. We'll talk more about the company of Enfield a little bit later, but the reason I'm bringing it up now is because it appears that the Administrator was born on Talos 2 around this time. And since the Doctor is one of the 2 creators of the Originium, and they are part of Rhodes Island, which founded Enfield, and they are one of the predecessors who Endmin resembles, it would only make sense if the Doctor were involved in the birth of the Administrator.
That'd be interesting. Not confirmed anywhere in or out of the game, just a hypothesis, just a hypothesis right now. That'd be interesting. That lines up.
They both appear to have the same powers over Originium, so there's that. Anyway, after 5 years of more or less uneventful exploration and development, the first great disaster hit Talos 2. Giant pillars called anchors fell from the sky, each one spawning countless mindless monsters called Agaloi. They launched a devastating attack against the outposts near the Cosmic Gate in the polar north of Talos 2, forcing the Terrans to retreat southward. This attack somehow created an auroral barrier very similar to Terra's star pod that completely engulfed the area around the Cosmic Gate. And just like Terra's star pod, no one could go into the barrier and nothing could come out of it, which meant that the people of Talos 2 were now completely cut off from the people of Terra. And those still stranded on Talos 2 now found themselves fighting in a decade-long Agaloi war. Now, the Agaloi War had a lot of fallout, but there are 2 incidents that I want to highlight. The first incident was a conflict or battle that occurred towards the end of the war that severely damaged the prime originium of Talos 2. You know, the one that inoculated the whole planet with originium. And while Enfield Industries did attempt some repairs on the prime originium, something strange happened to the inside of the crystal. The data that had been locked within the originium's assimilated universe splintered into fragments and began downloading itself into real space, primarily in the form of people.
Weird.
These people born of the Originium data shards were like clones of the people whose data they were born from. And while they did possess the same appearance, physical capabilities, aptitudes, preferences, and even memories as their source material, they were entirely unique and separate individuals, and they were completely aware of their circumstances. These people became known as reconveners, and you've probably met a few. Lavatane, Gilberta, Hogvranichnik, and Ardelia are all reconveners.
Oh, and I don't know anything about her, like, lore and something. There's a bunch of, like, you guys know what I mean? There's a bunch of lore to be read just in the profiles. Everyone's profiles are available to be read. There's like a not sus. There's everyone has a dossier on themselves. Profile. There's a human resources summary for everyone. So that'd be worth a look sometime in the near future.
And upon discovering their existence, Worf Farin, the leader of Rhodes Island at the time, decided to research the phenomenon, even going so far as to attempt extraction of additional reconveners from various data shards within the Originium. As far as I know, she's still busy doing that. So we'll probably be seeing a lot more reconveners going forward. Now, the second incident I want to highlight was the establishment of the Civilization Band. The Civilization Band is the result of a pact or treaty called the Band Accord that was made between all of the major organizations on Talos II after the Agaloy War. They make up about 90% of the total population, but the largest organizations that you need to know about in the Civilization Band are the UWST, the TGCC, and HAS. I'd like to touch on each of them briefly, and we're also going to talk about Enfield Industries because even though they are not one of the big three, they play a very important role and thus deserve an honorable mention. So the United Workers Syndicates of Talos II, or UWST, was established by the first group of organized frontiersmen that arrived on Talos II from Terra. As their name suggests, they are an incredibly large workers union that provides the Civilization Band with the bulk of its machinery, power infrastructure, and workforce for the construction and maintenance of Talos II's outposts and settlements. The Talos II General Chamber of Commerce, or TGCC, is a corporation that focuses on economics, logistics, and supply chains. They boast the largest trucking and transportation operation on Talos II and also function somewhat like a postal service, so settlements across Talos II really rely on them. And then we have the Hongshan Academy of Sciences, or HAS, which was founded by survey teams of scientists from Terra. Their primary responsibilities are producing agricultural goods that keep the people of Talos II fed, but true to their surveyor heritage, they also specialize in scientific research and providing training facilities for generations of scientists and researchers intent on unraveling the mysteries of Talos II. They are currently deeply involved in researching the Blight, which we're going to come back to in a bit. And that brings us to the last member of the Civilization Band that you need to know about, and that is Enfield Industries. They were originally established by Rhodes Island as a nonpartisan think tank for operations in Talos II. And since then, Enfield has become a technological pioneer thanks in large part to the work of the Administrator and their control over Originium.
I never noticed during the first time we send an AIC down, I never noticed just how big that is.
Pioneer thanks in large part to the work of the Administrator and their control over Originium. They are currently focused on developing and distributing new technology like the Automated Industry Complex, or AIC, which allows for instant manufacturing flexibility, as well as the Teleport Protocol System, which allows for instant transportation across vast distances. Enfield is also a neutral party, so they often play host, moderator, and mediator to the leaders of the aforementioned organizations and basically any other bigwigs within the Civilization Band. Now, these organizations, plus many unmentioned ones, have been working together to build a flourishing civilization on Talos II for the last roughly 140 years. Of course, not everyone is part of the Civilization Band. About 60 years ago, a hero from the Agaloy War established a massive organization called the Landbreakers, and then launched a rebellious assault against the Civilization Band for reasons unknown. This army of his was defeated, but the legacy of the Landbreakers lives on in three factions: the Pack, the Sand Reavers, and the Bone Crushers. Now these days, these factions don't share any sort of leadership or have any real affiliation. The only reason they're all still called Landbreakers is because over time, Landbreaker has just become a name that people use to refer to anyone who is not part of the band accord. And not all of them are enemies. While not much is known about the Sand Reavers as of yet, the pack is actually quite friendly with the Civilization band. In fact, several of them, namely Wolfguard and Rossi, have even joined Enfield Industries in supportive roles. But the Bone Crushers are a little bit more complicated. They're extremely hostile and make use of toxic blight aerosols produced by Denstacks, which boost their combat capabilities at the cost of their mental faculties. They are currently being led by Neferith, who appears to have some level of control over the blight the Bone Crushers are so fond of. We know next to nothing about her motives as of right now, so I'm not going to talk about them, but we do know quite a bit about the blight and where it comes from. But to understand the blight, you need to understand how reality appears to be structured within Arknight's Enfield. Now do note that I'm basing my explanation off of the work of in-game scientists who may or may not be correct in their assumptions, and there also might be some hints in the previous game that I'm simply not aware of that would explain this a little bit better. So the best I can do is just tell you how I understand it. And this simplistic diagram is how I understand it. So in this context, real space is what we call the current universe where the story takes place, but this universe exists in parallel with another decaying universe that's been dubbed the Ether Side. And between these two universes,
I hadn't read up on, Arlene has a description in the game, doesn't it?
exists a sort of dimensional corridor or membrane or subspace that keeps them separated.
Interesting.
Now, the integrity of this subspace membrane varies greatly depending on time and location. There are some places where the subspace is thicker and other places where it's a lot thinner.
Thick.
Now, the measurement reading of the thickness of that subspace membrane is called depth.
Ah, that's what, when they were talking about in the very intro of the game, when they were talking about depth, I was like drilling depth, like how deep we're going into the earth to mine resources or some shit.
Practical terms, depth readings determine how close the ether side is to real space by telling us how deep or thick that subspace membrane really is. So the thinner the subspace membrane is, the lower the depth readings are, and that means that the ether side is closer to real space than it usually is. So the influence of the ether side can be felt within real space in those areas. Now, in some cases, the subspace membrane can actually rupture, which then causes a rift, and areas around these rifts can experience bizarre phenomena like time dilations. These anomalies probably occur because the ether side has its own laws of physics, which are incompatible or at least different from those of real space. That last part is a theory. I don't know that for sure, but it makes sense to me. Now, rifts also allow matter from the ether side to rush into real space, kind of like water rushing out of a hole in a dam. This is a one-way process, as matter from real space does not get sucked into the ether side, and any and all matter that
It's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Chen just drowning in that pool, that tiny little.
Reverses a rift, but it makes sense to me. Now, rifts also allow matter from the ether side to rush into real space, kind of like water rushing out of a hole in a dam. This is a one-way process, as matter from real space does not get sucked into the ether side, and any and all matter that traverses a rift apparently turns into blight. Now, blight can be found in two forms: active blight and static blight. Active blight can take the form of a liquid, solid, or gas and causes destruction through dissociation.
Gross.
This sounds really complicated, and it's actually a little bit of a weird thing to wrap your brain around, so allow me to attempt to explain this with an oversimplified metaphor. Let's say you have a sand castle made of a mix of sand and water. In order for the sand to maintain its castle shape, it requires the water to kind of hold it together. In other words, sand and water must associate with each other for a sand castle to be a sand castle. Now, hypothetically, if we introduce blight to the sand castle, the blight would force the water and sand to dissociate or separate from each other, causing the sand castle to lose its structure and crumble. That is an example of destruction through dissociation.
Makes sense.
But in practice, blight doesn't actually turn your sand castle into a pile of sand and a puddle of water, because blight appears to dissociate matter on a molecular or even an atomic scale, which is terrifying. It appears like the dissociation effects hit the brain first, though. So coming into contact with blight tends to cause severe hallucinations, mental or emotional degradation, or in worst cases, terminal brain injuries.
That's horrifying if those are the result of like atomic dissociation, molecular deconstruction.
Those den stacks that the bone crushers use are a good example of this, as breathing in that gaseous blight actually does cause hallucinations and dizziness and all that kind of stuff. Now, I won't pretend that I understand how this gaseous blight actually increases their physical capabilities, but I assume it has something to do with Neferith, because she and Ardashir have shown that they have some level of control over the blight and or ether side energy. Now, fortunately, blight doesn't remain active forever and will eventually decay into static blight, which is far less dangerous to the average person.
Did they ever, did Neferith or Ardashir ever manipulate active blight? Or was it always static blight that they were manipulating?
Destroying the core within a blight mass can also accelerate the rate of blight decay, so it's often seen as the quickest way to control small bouts of blight. Incidentally, there does appear to be some sort of relationship between the anchors and the blight. After all, they both possess the same type of cores, and they both degrade when those cores are broken. I have more thoughts on this, but we're gonna need a little bit more context, so just set it aside for now. Now, while cores are the most organic way to get rid of blight, there are other blight remediation methods out there, and Chironite is one of them. Chironite is a synthetic originium-derived mineral that's capable of converting the liquid state of blight into water. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna speculate a little bit on how and why this works. So blight causes matter to dissociate or break apart, right? While originium's main ability is assimilation, which means it brings things together. Now, I think when blight meets originium, there's a sort of battle between a force that dissociates and a force that associates. And in the case of Chironite, association wins. Or maybe it's just that we can produce so much Chironite that we can overpower the blight. Either way, I think this process forces the blight to gain a proper structure by making it obey the laws of real space. So why does it become water then? Well, I think it's because water is a universal solvent. Almost everything breaks down in water, so if blight is also something that breaks things down, then it makes sense for it to convert into water.
That's interesting.
That's my theory, and we'll see how that pans out. Speaking of originium, though, Chironite is not the only Telosian innovation in the field of originium research. Shortly after the civilization band was established, many new collaborative research projects took place. The first noteworthy project resulted in the one-of-a-kind OMV Dijon, the only spaceship on Talos 2 and Terra, and also the headquarters of Enfield Industries. Now, the reason Enfield is in control of the spaceship is probably twofold. The first is because Enfield is the neutral party among the civilization band, so their control over a unique resource would, not allow any one faction to gain control over the other. And the second reason probably has to do with the Administrator and their control over originium, because the OMV Dijon is powered by the second noteworthy collaboration project, the Protocol Originium, or Proto-Rig. See, shortly after arriving on Talos 2, Enfield researchers discovered that infusing originium with energy from the ether side created a controlled spatial anomaly which allowed them to safely access the subspace corridor that I mentioned earlier, the one separating the ether side and real space. And by using the giant Protocol Originium core on the Dijon as a sort of control node, they could control a network of smaller Protocol Originium cores, each one connected to the subspace corridor.
Interesting. That's the lore of how teleportation works?
This allowed people to travel the subspace corridor safely since they could use the Protocol Originium crystals to return to the anchored point within Talos 2's spacetime. And the result was effectively teleportation.
That's fascinating, because in Genshin only we can use the teleports because we're traversing the teleports via the ley lines. Huh.
Between Chironite being able
and it seems like in whatchamacallit, it seems like whenever you teleport in Zenless, it's just skipping the travel time. There's no teleportation in Zenless. They're just skipping the travel time, like us driving from 6th Street to Lumina Square.
able to convert liquid blight into water and protocol originium, allowing for the laws of space-time to bend, I'm certain that the relationship between ether and originium is far more complex than it appears on the surface. Which brings me to the last thing that I want to talk about, which is the anguloi. Now here's the thing about the anguloi. They are creations of an anchor, and anchors seem to possess their own blight cores, which means both anchors and anguloi are related to blight, and thus the ether side. But the anguloi are also kind of like biblically accurate angels. Like in singular terms, they're actually called angelos, which literally means angel, and they descend from the sky via their anchors. They appear to lack any type of free will, which makes them behave almost like machinery. And most curiously of all, anguloi all bear halos, the shape of which—
Oh, I hadn't noticed that before. Huh.
Curiously matches the diamond pattern that's associated with originium, which is really weird when you think about it because originium is from Terra, right? And as far as we know, Terra doesn't have anguloi. So part of me wonders if this relationship between the ether side and the originium is responsible for the creation of the anchor and anguloi phenomenon, which is interesting because the structure of the anchors does seem to match the creations of Nefereth, which implies Nefereth has a connection to the origin of the anchors. Now, I'm not saying Nefereth is behind everything. I don't think she is, but she is connected to the current enemy faction, as is Ardashir. And it seems like Ardashir had at one point offered the Administrator a proposal, one that the Administrator did not accept. And I think that proposal had something to do with Protocol Originium specifically. In fact, I think Ardashir and the Administrator had a fundamental disagreement over how Protocol Originium should be used. And if that's the case, it would make for a lovely narrative parallel between Enfield and the original Arknights game, because the disagreements between Ardashir and the Administrator would be the same as the ones between Priestess and the Doctor. But that's all just speculation on my part, and if we go any farther, we're going to be out of scope for the video, so I think we're going to leave things here. Hopefully that means that I have accomplished what I set out to do and explained everything.
Holy shit, that was 27 minutes. That was a 27-minute video? That was so fat. We covered. I always say this after we get done watching stuff. I'm like, how did we already get through all of that? I want more.
Explaining. And I also hope that you found this video helpful. I'm really excited to finally be able to cover this game, so I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to both my Chaos Enabling channel members for allowing me to do this, you know who you are, and also to you, the one watching this video right now. I appreciate you. I couldn't do this without you. And until I see you again, remember to take care of yourselves. I'll know if you don't.
Fascinating. Huh. Thing go fast when is dank and good. I'll leave you with that as I use the restroom real quick since I pounded that cup of coffee. BRB. Okay, when, was it in Originium Civilizations? It is. There's a bunch of NPCs and some of our own, operators who have some sort of halo on them as well. Ember is one, Lavatane's another, no, Lavatane doesn't have a halo, does she? But she does have the, I don't have a Lavatane to look at, but, Ember has the halo, and the halo it's the ring of light, but then it also has the like stony looking structure around it, which looks so much like the ring that orbits the hula hoop around Lavatane. Who else has a halo? That's fascinating, huh? And some of the NPCs as well, just the random people that you'll see around have those halos around them. There are some characters who are very, very clear animal, like it's very clear what species they evolved from. Like Lung is just a dragon. Liberi is an owl adjacent creature. But then there's the like fairy looking NPCs that we see as well that have the geometric wings. It's their race. I don't actually have the game pulled up on my screen yet, so I'm having to look on OBS as I look at this. Sancta. Huh. Sancta Nomia. Interesting. It's actually a part of their body. Huh. Do I have anyone else who is of that species? I don't think so, do I? But then the other people are very clearly like it's pretty obvious what like Perlica is just a Perlica, what animal adjacent they are derived from. Huh. Interesting. She's the only one that I have actually. Interesting. I am gonna rewatch that later as well. Recover stuff I may have missed on our first watch through. Yeah, I definitely had not noticed that all of the Engoloi have the halo around them. I guess I just hadn't paid that much attention to them beyond the stony and the splatter aspect of them. That's super weird. Huh. I will say, I think that, similar to how I'd seen Mona before I ever played Genshin. I'd seen Lycon before I'd ever played Zenless. I'm pretty sure I'd seen Chen, but not Chen Yu. This I know I have seen that somewhere. Even if it was just a figure in my local comic store or just like a picture somewhere, I know I've seen, I don't know why I didn't make the connection that was the same game, but I know I've seen that red sword with that jacket, that hair, those horns before. Which is interesting. I wonder what the connection between Chen with the, it's not an Okina, but the apostrophe, it's not an apostrophe either, but that Chen and our Chen is, considering that surnames are first in the stack with Asian cultures. Huh. Y'all want to read the comic? And then after comic, maybe we can hop into the game for a bit. This comic should go relatively quick. This is not a web comic, right? No, it's not. Because I was gonna ask, is it a web comic that is voiced? It's not. Stream is about to get very comical indeed. Whoopsies. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Okay, is this red comic style or is this red manga style? Am I reading this there we go, that's good. Am I reading this left to right or right to left? We'll just keep like the battle music going as I read this. Actually, have some kind of ambiance. Do not remember. Well, it should be pretty easy to figure out before too long. Just from this, it looks like it's red right. It looks like it's red left to right. Oh, the page itself does have music. It did. Right. Unmute this. Holy shit! How's that volume? It's so loud in my own ears. How is that volume for all of you versus my voice now? Not too loud? Okay, cool. Let me know if it changes. Okay, official comic, The Promise, now released. They specify comic, not manga, so this potentially is read Western style. We get a nice shot of Dijong here. We have our bros and our adorable dragon, Perlica, holding some buns. Yeah, I think this is red left to right. Just now. Ah! Oh frick, what is it? Too slow, Chen. You missed it. The AIC passed its feasibility trial. Oh, so this is No. I'll figure out when this takes place. The AIC passed its feasibility trial. I want to buy buns. Oh, it is red, right to left, actually. Seriously? Congrats, though. I was late because I went to buy buns. Come on, try one. Thanks. Thanks, Jen. This place is my hidden gem. Go leave a glowing review. Andre, are those tears? Oh, ooh, you could say, ooh. Let's get that over a little bit. Ooh, it's been a long journey. If only the Endman could see this. Ah, this is prior to our awakening, it seems. If only the Endman could see this. Back then he... Ow! Back then he... Ow! The Endman would be thrilled. This is one of his biggest wishes. And yours too, right? Yes. Bing! Huh? Supervisor Perlica, I've got to run. Laters! Okay. And he scoots off. Alrighty. To make sure the AIC lands right, I've got to give it my all. Don't hit it. Watch me... Oh, maybe do hit those, actually. Watch me wreck those Agaloy. Nice spirit. Now then, where's that report from the last mission? Oh my gosh, she looks like she has Conrian eyes here. All right, back to work, everyone. Ah! Oh, I'll submit it this afternoon. Who said 10 slips and she loses afternoon tea? I haven't hit 10 yet, right? Missions CT51, S72, A21, S83, S84, A40. Keep that brain power for the big oh, that's Perlica saying that. Keep that brain power for the big stuff. Perlica walks off. Ardelia here. Perlica just vibing, doing her thing. Oh, there's Lana. Is that a popsicle? She's got a popsicle. She is so pretty. You know, I'm realizing how similar she is, like, model-wise, appearance-wise, to Mifu. She has the shortish hair. Her build is somewhat similar. Her voice. Perlica holding the healthy snacks. Perlica, I don't remember who you are. M3. M3! Perlica, M3, you're here. Chen ran back to the outpost this morning looking sad. What's up? Mr. Andre said he was flustered and he needed to run. What's up? Oh, they're both saying that at the same time. And they both ask, what's up? Andre tested new code on the thermal bank. He messed up, and now he's writing a report. Chen forgot to turn in her logs again, so I told her no logs, no tea. Look at Chen. Perlica. I know. It's time. The wake-up program will finish in a few weeks. Ooh, this is right before we wake up then. It's time. The wake-up program will finish in a few weeks. Big Owl, you've met Enmin, right? Yeah. Pearlie's been going there a lot lately. She wants to tell the Enmin the good news. Is the Enmin really as amazing as Pearlie says? Absolutely. Hope the Enmin wakes up soon. I want to steal some oh, that's probably Chen. I want to steal some moves. If you meet the Enmin, don't get too casual. Aw, I bet Pearlie's already spoken well of me to that rock. This is her 9th time this year. I tricked her into thinking it's the 10th. Hope she learns. Andre can't stop testing when inspiration hits. Thermal bank code's delayed again. Should I be harsher with them? Yes, you're being talked about. But thanks to them, your wish finally came true. Ooh. Back then, Pearlie lying on the ground. Oh! It's a tiny owl! Oh, so I, for some reason, thought that Perlica just aged slowly, and we knew her in this capacity back then, unless we age differently. Tiny Pearlie and a full-grown Endy. The AIC's ready. By the Zeroth directive, we're about to wake you. Endman. 12 years ago. Welcome to Enfield Industries HQ. OMV Dijung. M3. M3 was with Perlica when we woke up. What? She's so small! From now on, this is your home. She's so small. The tiny Pearlie! Wait. 12 years ago, welcome to Enfield Industries HQ, OMV Dijung. From now on, it's your home. See, oh, look at her! Our actual child. She's explaining how flowers work. Look, it's Goro. Who put Miss Hina in this game? We gave her head pats. She found books. That's a cool looking bookshelf, actually. The 41st POC test for the AIC system has concluded. Zzz, zzz. Maintenance report immediately! Simon. What's happening? Popov's throwing a tantrum. Inman, is this the power circuit from that test project? Mm-hmm. The books and blueprints you finished at the shelter, they're all materials related to the AIC. Oh? This little one is Perlica. She just came from the shelter and will study aboard Dijang. From the shelter? So about why Pearly always looks so sad when you say you don't remember anything. Look at her! She's so tiny! She just came from the shelter and will study aboard Dijang. I see. Hello there. I'm Simon. You can call me Master Simon. Nice to meet you, Master Simon. Master Simon, the orientation of this component seems off. Huh? Simon, check the design blueprint. No way, that's a rookie mistake. And how would a kid know that? She wouldn't be mistaken. Not even by a symbol. Trust me. He clicks it. Get that incident report to Popov by noon tomorrow. Well done, Perlica. Aw. Andre and the others are gonna kill me! Come on, I'll show you around. Yay! Oh, that's M3, right? Yeah. Oh, she got new digs. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. She got a new jacket. She got a new jacket. Aw, new outfit? I could have just read one more piece of dialogue down. Yes, you mean no. Aw, new outfit? Looking good. So cute. Look at her juggling. Oh, she's juggling the snacks like she was. Morning, Amy. Thank you. Morning, Carlson. Thank you. Morning, Uncle Bob. I left a mistake on purpose to test you. Right here. Whoa. But I see more than one mistake. Huh? What? Where? Wait! Watch my attack. Ooh, Tao. Look how big this book is on her. Oh, it's the guy from the intro with 2 sunglasses! I didn't even notice that. I was too concerned with tail wagging and tiny Perlica. Watch my attack moves. Nice. You used to memorize circuits, but you didn't understand them, right? Yeah. Then I'll teach you. Master Simon, you're optimizing the crystal oscillator, right? I do understand now. Ah! She's got a Defense Force visor. Is this? Okay, this is clearly a soldering iron. It looked so much like just a straight up screwdriver. She's using a screwdriver on this motherboard. I made this. I made this. And we're showing everyone how smart she is. Owl is impressed. We spar a bit more. Perlica sleepy. Aww. Libra give their feathers as gifts to those they care about to show their blessings. This new idea. What a genius. She point? Perlica, can you explain this part to me? I spaced out a bit when Andre explained. Sure, Master Simon. Stop calling me Master. Why not, Master Simon? Ah, by Talos! Please stop! Ha 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 ha! Perlica, this new plan was inspired by your idea. Major kudos to you. Did I really help? Of course. Everyone says you'll be a brilliant scientist one day. I don't remember what male administrator sounds like, so I'm using my wise voice. Everyone says you'll be a brilliant scientist one day. I'll work hard and become one soon. 2 years later. I am going to switch music to something a bit more relaxing, actually. I don't know why Wuling, but we'll switch to Wuling. Two years later, phase verification test for the AIC system starts in 30 minutes. All units, please look at the dog. All units, please. Ah, you've arrived. Greetings, Uncle Simon. The North Pole. It's gonna be hard to develop this without the Endmen. Yeah. I'm back. Oh, right. So we started 12 years ago. This is 2 years later, which means this is now 10 years prior to the start of our game. The North Pole. It's gonna be hard to develop this without the Endmen. Yeah. I'm back. Oh, never mind. We're there. There we are. We're right there. Maybe not. Jump the gun on that a little bit. We're right there. I'm back. Running with toast in mouth. Endman, you've been at it hard. Need a Endman, you've been at it hard. Need a break? Nah. Well, let's get to it. How's it looking down there? Agaloy are taking outposts we thought were safe. We're gonna be running on thin supplies. Ooh. I'll see what I can do. Why Pearly cry? Oh, Pearly cry! Pearly cry! Back to the test. How's the prep? I got a good feeling. We're trying out Perlica's energy diversion idea. If it works, her name goes on the core dev list. Come on, Uncle Simon, stop teasing me. Start testing. All units ready. Beep. Oh no, it's a Samsara. Okay, we got a bzzzt coming from the bzzzt. Oh, Pearly sweat. I thought she'd cry. Pearly sweat. I thought she'd cry. Never mind. We got a bzzzt coming from the bzzzt. System check, all green. Bzzzt and zaza. Hardware check complete. Firmware online. Energy. Oh, that's the computer speaking. I've been giving that a much more human voice. System check, all green. Hardware check complete. Firmware online. Energy unit online. It's the entering core AIC area. It's that voice. Initiating load transfer. Wait, the readings. Phase 2 of energy diversion. High voltage surge. Prototype failing. Beep, beep. Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Surge protection breached. And explode. Explode. Owl. Surprised. PSC instability detected. Emergency stop! Emergency stop! No, it won't. And we bzzmt it. Sound like a male fairy. Otherwise known as Mary. Emergency shutdown complete. Clunk and a beep. What's the? I guess that's just a move in. Endman, don't go there. More beeps. Let us handle this. Okay, we plugged it with Originium. We clunked down. I guess containing the explosion. Get tiny Pearly. Clomp, clomp. Quick status. No casualties. Equipment loss under 7%. Phase 2 had a high voltage surge. Cause still under investigation. All critical systems activated. Losses are contained. Andre, lead data analysis and oversees test site repairs. Yes. Puccini. Secure the test site first, then support Andre. Mr. Popov, repair all power systems. You may deploy all teams, but the test site squad. Understood. Got it. Andre? Prioritize, this is M3 talking. Andre, prioritize manufacturing cabin and growth chamber. Protect expedition supplies. Pearly fist is shaken, or she's doing this to calm herself. It looks like an impact right there. Roger. Make sure LIMS is working. I'll keep everyone in sync. Tracy, please inspect these units. Pardon, can you repeat that? Time's tight. These supplies are for the front lines. We're stretched thin below. Enman, M3. That's Pearly talking. Enman, M3. Please, let me help too. Thank you, Perlica. But I know the Angeloi are getting stronger. Enman, Andre, Popov, Tracy, and many others haven't rested properly in ages. M3, you always say I'm capable, so let me help. Even just a little. Proud ND. Tracy, bring her along. She can help with logs and messages. Okay. Perlica, you're up. Roger. She's so happy to be she's so happy to be able to use her skills. Go, Perlica. Pat, pat, pat. She runs away. Tracy, we're swamped with alerts. Pearly doing stuff. Endin looking on proudly, like a proud father. Clack, click. Oh, that's us typing. Clack. Perlica? Why are you still up? If M3 finds out. What are you hiding? She brought us cupcakes. Oh. You snuck off to the kitchen. I didn't. We grab one of the cupcakes. If I join you, it's not sneaking. All right, eat fast and then bed. Enman, you should rest too. Got stuff to finish. I'm not sleepy yet. Liar. You looked tired all day. Was it that obvious? Enman, today's test. Don't let it get to you. Today's test, don't let it get to you, but there's no time to redo it before you leave, right? Yeah. With you here, things could be sorted by the time I'm back. I know what everyone's worried about. We're short on weapons and supplies, and yet Enfield and the UWSD have poured so much into developing the AIC. Is it really worth it? Will the AIC even work? And now, right during the crucial test, we have to set off. Will the AIC even work? Draining our already limited supplies. And now, during the crucial test, we have to set off to the north. Will we succeed? Perlica, do you have faith in me? Of course I do. You're super strong. No battle is ever guaranteed. We can only do our best and hope for victory. Do you think we can win? Yes. With all of you here, I do. Do your best then. I'll have a gift ready. Thanks. I'll look forward to it. Happy Pearly. Oh. Several months later. Man, I'm gonna have to rewatch the intro to Enfield. Because I thought an adult Perlica was fighting alongside us in that very intro scene in the ice fields. Several months later. That looks so much like... You didn't have to make it look like a coffin. And then several days after that. M3. Popov's down. Who's managing power repairs at the mines? And the Angeloi are attacking! What if another rift pops up and the Enman isn't back? If... Simon, calm down. Slap. Oh, okay. Even if the Enman's asleep, nothing's gonna fall apart. Besides, I'm here. Yeah, You can take over the repair work. Got it. Oh, what? No way! You'll do fine. Slap. Slap. Edmund worked hard to give us this precious time. We have to give it our all. Be confident. You're Popov's star student. Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll handle the mines. That's the spirit. Bonk. She bonk him again with the tablet. Don't be so sloppy. It was what appears to be an adult Perlica, but everyone was slightly see-through. Wasn't it also what appeared to be an ND, or what appeared to be a Pearly? And who else was there? I'd have to go rewatch. But there were other people alongside us as well. Don't be so sloppy. Be more like Perlica. Hey, where is she? Look at this fucking face. Where is she? Swoosh. Oh, his fucking owl head just pivoted 180. Oh. She hasn't said much lately. Won't even go near the Edmund sleeping room. Don't poke her. She can hear you. Sorry, we'll go elsewhere. Bye. Look at this face. Look at this face. This is the face of Enfield's future. Oh. Poor Pearly. She's still so young here. That was the gift. That was the gift she had prepared when we came back. One of her feathers. Edmund, do you think we can win? Yes. With all of you here, I do. Besides, even if the expedition succeeds, we have much to do. Even without the Angeloi, Talus 2 won't heal overnight. Rebuilding will be difficult and may bring new threats, but we must press on. Perlica, do you know what the North is like? I've only read about it. Right. It fell long before you were born. But I've been there. The freezing moss field, the endless pine forests, the snowy mountains, and the cosmic gate, leading to a homeland long missed by generations. I want to chase the Angeloi away, so no one here has to live in fear again. I want the North back. So that someday, you can see it for yourself. You can do it. I just know you can. I can't do it alone. Rebuilding our home, defending ourselves, the AIC is what makes it all possible. We're in this together. My job is to stabilize the North and buy us time. Yours is to focus on research, so that we have something to fight back. Got it. And Min, come back soon, okay? Or we might finish the whole AIC while you're gone. Wow, it'd be awful to miss the celebration cake. Guess I must get it done ASAP. Well, do your best then. Do your best then. I'll have a gift ready. I'll look forward to it. You have to show me the North too. No problem. Pearly, clutching her feather, stands from the bridge, walking from the bridge further into Dijung. Hey, about Perlica. M3 looking over. Actually, this one. Cycle between some soundtracks. Hey, about Perlica. So, the mines. The mines of Moria? That's our room. That's the awakening room. Or the sleeping room, rather. Enmin, I can't give you this gift yet. Coming back like this doesn't count. But I'll keep my word. I'll grow up, help M3 finish the work you left behind, and complete the research with Mr. Andre. I'll build the AIC. I promise. I will make your dream come true. I'll hold on to this gift. I'll wait until you come back to us for real. And then you'll take me to see the North. Man, that recontextualizes all of the every scene that we've had with her, where she's talking about her faith in us, and I gotta go rewatch those scenes, and the intro as well. Edmund, it's been so long. Oh, that was the... I guess, I mean, that picks up right where we pick up, but... The Promise. Look at these cute little things. Oh, it's the two Endies! Rock, paper, scissors! No! Best 4 out of 7. You'll get your turn later. Maybe just give up. First best 2 out of 3, then best 3 out of 5. Aw. Oh. Like, episode 2 of this series was titled Perlica is Just the Best. The tiny Perlica, bro, my heart. She's so small. All right, then. Well. Actual daughter. Okay, let me, switch, my displays real quick. Oh, there's just no music playing, apparently. All right, well then, wasn't expecting feels right now. I guess I should, but wasn't.
If there's a fight, I'm in.
I have Pearly in this team. I have been slowly rebuilding people, by the way. I've been slowly trying to get people built.
Onward, team.
She has so much faith in us. Faith in us. What is her looking, because some people have a very clear looking animation where, like, Fluorite is like, why are you staring at my ass? Perlica's is her shoulder. Oh, wait, new updates, in the photo mode. I can actually command that now.
Operator Perlica, standing by.
Profile, codename Perlica. Is everyone's name just codename? Because Zhuang Fengyi is her given name, isn't it?
Operator Perlica.
March 16th. Oripathy negative. Physiological strength standard, combat skill standard, tactical acumen outstanding, original arts assimilation excellent. Perlica, supervisor of Enfield Industries, is one of the official spokespersons for Enfield. I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but is one of the official spokespersons for Enfield. She's primarily responsible for overseeing and advancing the development and application of Protocol Originium technology protocols, while also managing the operations of the Dijiang. It's been a long time since I last heard anyone question whether she deserves the title of supervisor. She has silenced all doubts with tangible results, proving M3's words true. This position exists because of Perlica. Don't get the order wrong. I can still hardly believe that someone so young is capable of supporting the management of the entire Enfield Industries, yet under her leadership, the future that Enfield strives towards has only grown clearer. However, she isn't flawless in handling everything. For instance, as a key figure in managing the crisis team, she shouldn't constantly risk herself on the front lines alongside the members. Even if she continues to dismiss my requests, I will still urge her to reassess the risks. Marvin Malin, Assistant HR Division, Enfield Industries. Okay. We're topped off on a bunch of shit. We're topped off on copium. Topped off on copium. We're topped off on copium, therium, originium. We're making a bunch of Shiranite. I mean, before I started stream, I sold 8,000 Shiranite to Stockade. So we're also topped off on carbon and copium components, and damn near topped off on Shiranite components. Copium components don't need to continue being made. These should be switched off, right? Yeah, okay. These are currently switched off, so they're not needlessly consuming Originium for no reason. So realistically, I could probably disassemble one of these cuprium component. I could probably disassemble one of these because I don't need two of them. It's just I'll keep one running so that when I use some, then it can just continue making more. However, I'm not gonna be using 8,000 of them right now, so I could just disassemble one, keep one running, use that Shiranite elsewhere. I have my Infa farms for Sandleaf and Buckflower over here. I also haven't needed it, but I do have a farm for Yashin. I have 4 Forges of the Sky, all branching out from this central bus. I haven't upgraded the so I upgraded the area, which is why I know I can run, that's why I ran the water lines off to the side like this. So if anything else needs, this line is only supplying to 1. This line is just supplying to the 2 Forges of the Sky. Yeah, so this one's only supplying to 2. This one's just supplying to 2, which aren't even running. The water treatment is just sitting there because it's just sitting there because the refining units aren't running, so they're not sending sewage to the water management system. So I've got plenty more space for other future facilities I need to make here. Oh, we should backlog some parts, shouldn't we? Here, let's I'm gonna stash that belt, and then it's just, yeah. Briefly, I can always reconnect that. I'm just gonna run that, back into, I'm just gonna run that back into there. We'll just make some of that. We're mining so much copium that I'll just have that be topped off, frankly. And then down in Jingyu Valley, boop. Pardon me. Which trailers am I good to watch, by the way? We'll end stream watching trailers as we oft do. Have trailers be our send-off. Shiranite components also are switched off because we're capped off on them, and I don't anticipate using all 8,000 in one go right now. I hear you though that you basically could use that much, so maybe don't disassemble everything and think that you'll never use that many. But they don't need to be running constantly. Just if I see myself, I'm like oh, I'm like all the way down to 2,000 or 1,000 components. I'll reactivate the gearing units. Everything's going into a protocol stash. I don't know why it took me so long to figure out the protocol stashes. They're so simple. In Valley 4, I tried to run everything back into these ports, which is just not the way to do things. I have 5,000 energy out of only 3 thermal banks and only 1 packaging unit making batteries, and batteries stay pretty topped off at, where are my batteries? Where are my batteries? Where are my batteries? Oh, never mind! They're at 0. We are, so apparently we are consuming those faster than we can make them. Okay. Is this waiting on, okay, it's waiting on powder. So if I just send it more powder, it can be producing those maybe more regularly. Would you recommend sending another, source of dense iridium powder into this, or just make another packaging unit that can produce more batteries? I didn't realize that we were consuming them faster than we were crafting them. Because we're fine for now, but eventually we will be running out. We've got 17 in storage right now, but very slowly that will run out. Pre-release all launch characters: Gilberto, Yvonne, Tung Tung, Rossi, and then Fungi. Okay. Cool. Is there a playlist? Maybe I can just go down the playlist until I stop at that. Never used for more than one type of... Yeah, everything has its own protocol stash. Now I could... if I had 2 gearing units, I could send both of those gearing units into one protocol stash. But yeah, don't have one protocol stash being sent batteries and components. Just one protocol stash, and they don't take up that much space. They don't take that much power. It's easy to just plop them down and have them just be where everything gets sent to. Plenty of space here. My water source is right here. I don't have anything that needs water in this AIC right now, but I will eventually. Coffee? I think I grabbed, what am I meta transferring? Am I meta transferring anything these days? I was doing, buck capsules, but I quickly realized that, like, you don't use those quickly enough to need to send shit tons of capsules, because I'm crafting capsules in Valley 4. I'm not crafting them here, so I'll continue crafting them in Valley 4. There's no need to duplicate the crafting. You don't use them that quickly. What is being transferred? Oh, amethyst parts. That makes sense, because I'm not manufacturing amethyst parts here. I am manufacturing ferrium parts here. That actually might be up at the other one. Ferrium parts. Ferrium and amethyst you need for the facilities, so it's always good to keep a bunch of those on hand. Oh, it's right here. Ferrium parts. There's one ferrium deposit in, I didn't find any amethyst deposits yet. There's one ferrium deposit right here. Those rigs are all working. I think I also plopped down mining rigs at all of the sites that we have currently discovered as well. So shit tons of iridium. And then down here, this is also iridium, right? Also iridium, which is why we're always capped off on it. It's very it's very nice to be comfortable with Iridium because you use it for so many things. Chingbo Stockade. Oh yeah, I did plop down the last one. So copium is being mined there as well. This is also cuprium. Although there's only 2. I had to look up a guide for this one actually because I was unsure how to Oh, I don't need to transfer them because I can just... When I craft something, it takes from the total stock that I have, not just what's local? Oh, owned 51.9K. Oh. Actual crafting. Oh, okay. Combination of the two. Ah, okay. Word. Actual crafting. So when I'm crafting shit that needs amethyst parts, they don't need to be sent to Wuling. They can just still exist in Valley 4, and I can still have access to them. Gotcha. I had to look up a guide for this because I was unsure how to get water over there. Is that the easiest way to get over there? Wait, isn't there a? Oh, there's a zipline tower right here. Didn't need to go that far, but and then I remembered, oh right, I have the conduits, and I can just plug water into the ground and have it come back up over there. And the distance as well is like 400 meters. Like you can throw it crazy far. How's this team? How's this team doing? Fangi still needs to, a proper set because she needs to work on being able to get her her ult a lot more efficiently. Yeah, she has. Look how much. During that entire battle, she only got 25% of her ult back. So that needs some work. But I don't have a real set on her. This was overflow set. This was overflow set that was on other people. Perlica has a real set. Arclight has a real set. Ardelia does actually have a real set, doesn't she? External auxiliary arm. She just doesn't have proper armor. Arcane has one of the 2 sets. Arcane and Mifu both have the 2 sets that I got for free from doing her trial. However, she does have. I did give her Link's slab. Yeah, there's some stuff that I can't make yet via the guide. Which, what's the, I've been using mobalytics.gg for build guides and stuff. I was about to use that for build guides on Zenless, and as I was about to tap into it, I was like, this might have characters on the main screen that I shouldn't be seeing. So I have not been using it for Zenless, but Zenless is pretty good about giving you, about having kind of recommendations in the game itself. So that's pretty okay. Who were we building as well? Who else were we building? Was it Grace? Who I want to build? That you guys said that the top choice on hers actually still isn't the better one. There's some people who are like that. Like Trigger's best set for the purposes that I need is actually the Tiger set. But so they want her on some set that I just straight up don't have access to. There's a couple things like that as well where a couple people need a T3 armor that I don't have access to, or T1 gloves I don't have access to. So I made stuff temporarily so that I can still play them and they can be somewhat competent. Arcane's on that with a slab. Mifu is on this with 2 flashlights. Ember's another one who I don't have access to a lot of her stuff. Swordmancer gauntlets. I think she also wants gauntlets T1, and I only have access to these. So that also will be something that I eventually get her a real set and proper gloves. Tsaihi, don't have access to her shit yet. Chen, I do. They want her on a Redeemer gloves as her off-piece. Don't have access to the Redeemer set yet, but the roving works perfectly fine for her right now. Fluorite actually is on a full set of Frontier. Akakuri on Frontier, and then that does it for everyone that I'm currently using. This I don't think works for her, but damn does it look good on her. That sword looks so cool on her. It matches that, like, the color and everything just matches the jacket. It's level 1 because if I actually use her, I'm giving her this. But yeah, Thermite Cutter is ready to be 90'd. Mifu's tassel is actually 90. I did get that up in the interim since we last left off. My priority has been for the Mifu team first and foremost.
Are you ready? The wildlands are filled with things.
We are Battleforge teammates.
So Mifu's Mifu's actual weapon is 90, and then Akakuri was my next priority because she's on 2 teams. She's on her SP recovery is a legit like starting the battle with her ult and then using 2 battle skills. You basically get 1.5 of those battle skills back immediately.
Over here, Redmond.
And then probably Chen and Ember, and then I'll move on to doing Arcane's team. But yeah, I remembered wireless water only after I watched the guide. I was like, how the hell do I get water over here? Wireless water. What else? I don't. Was that it? As far as like things to be updated on, I want to grab this real quick. I don't think I have anyone who needs the Bone Crusher armor, but it's bothering me seeing that there. There's a bunch of shit over here to grab as well, to crab. Also, in order to not cap on equipment, remember you'll need hundreds of pieces to max all of them. So always use them there. It's up there.
Execute plan A. Roger.
Thank you, Chen.
Engaging the enemy.
Thank you, Chen. Ribbit. There's a quest over there as well. That armor set was over here. There's some butterflies. Why is Chen glowing right now? Why was Chen glowing just now?
Watch this.
Passive? Why was Chen glowing just now? Sorry, excuse me, Chen. I'm in for farming sandleaf. I don't need to pick up another sandleaf. What the hell? How are you not dead, you crazy? Sit down.
Excellent work, everyone.
Great job. We've all done our part for Enfield.
How would I get up there? How would I get up there? There is something over there. Oh, don't go in there.
No one escapes my gaze.
Of the gods? You fell down like a sack of potatoes. You okay, Mifu? There's a thing up there that, oh, this rock can be destroyed. Oops, 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 oops. I was like, how do I get up there? Oh! I meant to do that. I was just testing the structural integrity. Farium bottle. Uh-oh. That one does need a full spritz.
Fight. Let's go. I have total faith.
just doing two of Chen's abilities to wreck house when it's just one enemy is quite satisfying. Where are we going? Riverbank Grotto. Oh, huh. That's the end of the line right there. Did I just geometrically fuck myself? This area was good to explore. What about past here to the east? Probably not, right? Is that quest area or? What do you mean go back and hit the wall? I like it when you guys, you couldn't if you tried yet? Okay. I like when you guys recommend stuff like that I never would have, never would have thought to do. Otherwise, that would just stay there unfinished. Did I not get all of the butterflies? Apparently not. Blink, blink, blink. Where did they go after this? Oh. You okay? Oh! That didn't even show up on my radar, though. Oh, hello there.
I see a worthy opponent.
Bring it on.
He sees us!
Once known, be
Everyone's like, leave it to me! No, leave it to me! No, leave it to me! Whoa! Woo! Ow! Oh, jeez, I need that, please. Oh!
I'll teach you.
Whoa, why was that so slow motion? That is so satisfying when you do that.
Next up is PAR, PCA. But let's cheer for our victory first.
Raker Beast Longfur.
The boss would be glad to hear this.
Everything's fine. Mifu's only half health. Everything's fine. There's sometimes pillars with a green top on them and the green trail. Oh, that thing up there. I thought that was just ambiance. Scorch bug.
Hope it's useful.
It is. Ooh. Martial practitioner's ravings. Of course I know how dangerous the Raker Beasts are. But that's the whole point. You don't get stronger fighting weaklings. I warm up with the Raker Beasts, then take on Quill Beasts. Then maybe Sky Drummers. They're just beasts. I'm not gonna let them take me down. I'm no weakling. I won't let one haul me off and chew me off. Oh, it's hauling me off. It's chewing me up. Rip. As in, that man got ripped in half by a Raker Beast. Ooh, shiny. There's a thing to drop right there. Boop. And this connects back directly. Sorry. That just continues on into the Oblivion Crisis. Cool. There's that thing over here. The whole reason we came down here a couple streams ago was to get this depot node, and I had to go the back way in. Click. That sounded pretty satisfying. Depot nerd. It's 12. It's 12.5. Yeah. Pack goods. We should cost 72. Oh, that uses a lot. We need to I mean, we probably should do it anyway. One more. What is the what the quests in our log? Deep volted steel. Which ones were the ones that we can Silent Grove, was this the next one that we should do? I can't remember. That's gonna take us a little bit further away than I want to go right now. Oh, there it is. I like how they can pick it up for you. I don't have to pick them up manually like that. And there was also another chest on top of there.
The crusade continues.
Awesome, right? Oh, and then I can open this. Cool. Sorry. Just my dragon being a dragon. Pay no attention to the cute lung girl. Follow some butterflies real quick. Oh, that was all of them. Okay. Keep going upwards. Wuling's world is so designed so lovely. All of the environment design is so pretty. It's like that mix of traditionalist and brutalist, and it works for. Hey, bud, what are you doing? He's like, my parents were killed in the Egaloy War. Okay, cool. Good to know. I would need to drain this shit. Courtyard A+. Those are the words written on the gate. The fees for this kind of courtyard are usually exorbitant, far beyond what most traveling merchants can afford. Well, lucky for you. Why is this chair knocked over? Take some pride in your workplace. Ooh, chest. Also, how many Auralene have we collected at this point? I haven't deposited Auralene in a bit. Ah, sweet! That's how you... Ooh, sweet. That's how you unlock this door. It's round and shiny. Oh, this must be the actual size of... Auralene. Submit Auralene. I had 4, not an obnoxious amount. Oh, character quests, right. A lot. Gilberta, Andre, Melody of the Valley, Finally in Color, Lone Wolf, and Sanguine Inquiry. Inquiry. Dense Macabre, Lone Wolf. What did we get? Bamboo Sprout. And Chimes. And Rager Beast Fur. Ooh, do we have enough to, excuse me. Did we need a /want to... Did we need to /want to do any pulls on this? Pity carries over, right? Like, if I pull on this, I won't lose my pity once the banner changes. I didn't buy anything from here yet. I'm thinking about this correct, right? In 9 hours, anything over 300 will vanish. So you should spend down to where you're below 300. Protahedrons are helpful. Okay, exactly 300 actually. Yeah, I'd have 3 banners to do so. I wonder if we should throw some at Arcane's weapon. Solemn Phalanx. We have enough we can do a 10 pull real quick. The only reason I stay above 300 is because I have, I like do just below 300 is because I have encountered a couple times where there were arsenal tickets or a barrel and I didn't have enough even after claiming my credits. It was like It cost 420 or something like that, and I only had the 300. Let's roll on this. Oh, we could do 2 10 poles actually, because we have 2,000 left over now. Okay, we were at 0 pity. Because the last time we had done this, we got Mifu's weapon. Wild Wanderer? He is a bit wild sometimes. Ooh, okay, that's on Pearly. Oblivion, the Oblivion Crisis. Okay, cool, yeah. The first 50-50. We can do another right immediately as well. So why not? Bonk. Arts identifier, cool. That was the only 5 in the stack as well. Cool, and then we have 25, and now we have 20 remaining, and we have more banners before Solemn Phalanx will depart. That is such a dope looking weapon. Look at that. Did we have any standards? We have 6 basics. Don't 10 pole. 6 singles. Ant. Ant. Basic, single. What? Estella? Who does Estella work with? And does anyone have her built and used? Captain Akakuri. My goat. My Shiba. Catter. Another one. Last right or Enderman if doing solidify comp. Solidify! Catcher. And last single basic. Cool. Ant-Man. Exchange. Boop. Boop. Did I buy the I must have, because they're not up there. Yeah, obviously we would have done that. We would have done that day 1. I kind of think we're at 2 hours right now. I kind of think we save. Next time we will do. Do you think we have time to do 2 character quests in one stream? Might be able to make that happen. What am I missing on what's preventing me from getting to the next AIC level? Because I'm far and away have enough local development local development. Oh, story. Gotcha. Whoa. What do we need to, main story. Wolfguard is quite short. Camille is newer and longer. The other two are in between. Okay. Maybe we just, if Wolfguard is shorter-ish, maybe we just make that, a double feature, a two stream, and depending on how long, on just how short Wolfguards is, we could make that a 3 stream. If that is like a 4 or 5 hour stream, that it could be doable. I would just have to pre-plan to make sure that I have the time to be able to do a 5 hour stream. But once again, very fortunate to make my own schedule and kind of decide when I'm able to do this hobby in this way. It's very satisfying watching all this shit move around like that. My infinite farms are going. I don't know what else I'm gonna be needing to make that's gonna take this much space. However, I assume that you will be maxing out the space, manufacturing things on all of your AICs eventually. There's just so much. There's so many components that need to be made. So many parts and components and stuff that you could duplicate. Like if you're making a lot of stuff, you could duplicate the things that you're making. Like there's copium parts being made down here. I have them switched. I have both facilities switched off because I'm capped off, and I'm not making that many. Why is that over 8,000? Can I hold more than 8,000 now? Oh, apparently, because now that's at 9,000 carbon and 11,000 originium. Cool. And copium is still being mined, and so is ferrium, obviously. Ferrium is barely being used. Cool. The depot nerd that we just unlocked. How many Forges of the Sky? Is there one more? No, okay, cool. I've reached the maximum amount of Forges of the Sky. I just will, the only question is, can I get them constantly pumping out their maximum potential, where there is 0 downtime? Like right now it's waiting on carbon. So I could have that be, or no, it's not waiting on carbon. It's just that it's constantly being fed and using because it takes 2 at a time. But I just want to make sure that those are pumping out as fast as physically possible. You use a lot of Shiranite for a lot of things, and even 4 Forges of the Sky. I just want to make sure that we can keep up with the demands. Because this is still the same base layout that it gave me in the original blueprint. 2 carbons, 1 sand leaf, and then into the grinding units. I wonder if it would be like, it seems like, no, it is waiting on it. Yeah. Just a little bit. The trick is to balance Shiranite and heavy Shiranite. It will take you up to 12 forges. We could just be manufacturing, this somewhere else, and then just have depot buses, depot unloaders, just be loading, stabilized carbon into the, because this could all be condensed down into a smaller area that could be, like, that could sit down here, and then the only thing that the depot unloader is unloading is several stacks of this. Just fill out all of these ports. So so that it's getting stuffed with as much water and carbon as we can stuff in every orifice that is available. You heard it here first. I need the next level because I need to be able to make I need to it's not how I read that. I read never mind. I need to be able to make more I've reached the maximum depot bus sections. I can only place 10. And I need to be able to unlock the ability to place more of them, which is in factory plan. It'd be in logistics. No, it would not be. Where is that again? But you can oh, it's in the it's at the steward. Steward lets me do that. I just need a lot more here. Next time we're in, we'll be doing story stuff. So let's do some just like maintenance things for right now. There's one of these that I need to do still. I haven't done many errands for stock bills here in Wuling. Here, Pearly can do this.
Front row this time. I want to be the first out of the door.
Oh. Aw, Pearly. That really. I loved Pearly for the get-go because of how like calm, responsible. She's always the adult in the room, mostly because Endy and Chen are just gremlins. But she also like she was so focused. I love the character that they created in Perlica, and man, that comic just really brought her up another notch. Excuse me, Fang Yi. These are quick and easy little things. Check the blueprint in where? Yeah, her formative years of growth. When like how old was she in she was like 8 when we left. Hey. I almost just drowned I almost just drowned her. That one does count, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm glad that you can't accidentally sprint off of the boat. It prevents you from dodging. So, and actually it locks you into a walk as well. So that you if you drown on the raft, it is all your fault. This is a cool raft, by the way. I hadn't really looked at it. It reminds me of like a belly tank from a it reminds me of a belly tank like gas tank from or a belly tank from like a World War II airplane. Some of the original land speed race cars were belly tanks from World War II aircraft. Literally just take a belly tank off of a P-51 Mustang or something, clear it out, put some wheels in it, put a flathead Ford or something like that in there, just a little diesel or like a 4-cylinder on nitromethane, and hold on. People were doing that on dry lakes in the 30s or in the 50s. First sanctioned drag race was in 1949, won by Fran Hernandez, who went on to invent the flip-top funny car. A little bit of American drag racing history. In the messaging system? Jib, what is why is in this messaging system 1.1 cheer night? How do I okay. Oh, this is very compact as well. There's the Forge of the Sky, water running from a pipe there. Oh, run a conduit to it. Bridges right there. Here's your grinding unit. That is being fed by these, okay, it's being fed 2 shredders from there. Infinite, what is this? Infinite, oh, this also contains, the Sandleaf farms to this section, as well. This is damn near as small, like this is damn near the same size as my current, Forge of the Sky farm that shoots off of the, the thing. And then a shredder and a refiner. That's gonna, oh, that could be a buckflower farm. It's just getting carbon from a different source, a different flower. And then sending it, okay, and then carbon, these 2 grinding units are where carbon's coming out of to make, okay, interesting. Huh. I'm gonna save that one. Neat. The ruling flowers produce double quantity of carbon. Word. Pangministrator is a cutie. Agreed. Agreed, chat. Agreed.
Be it for foes or
Oops.
again. How about a refreshing cup of tea before heading out?
Agreed. Look at her, she looks over and she's like, my sleeves? What were you looking at? I don't know. Also, you can just cycle these. It's a cool addition to the photo mode. I like how this is called tweaking. This is called tweaking. She's losing it. She's typing on nothing. What was the end of that animation? She's looking to Pearly for approval. Did I do good? Cool additions to photo mode. I like it. Being able to play and pause that is critical in a lot of contexts. We were just at that, Connery. All right. I actually think that'll probably do it for today. The next time we're in, let's just make that an agent quest, an operator quest, day. I really think let's do 2 at a time. Can I get this teleport? This is a teleport I haven't gotten. Oh, accept and progress through the mission. Okay, that one is hidden for right now. That one is hidden for right now. There's a mission. There's a mission over there. I don't want to. I just realized that there's a proximity-based mission. Proximity-based mission triggers don't seem as obnoxious here as they are in Genshin. They can be really obnoxious in Genshin a lot of times, but I think we just make that a long stream and just do some operator just do some operator shit. I am happy that now I have the ability to regularly use my lizard, my pistol lizard. The design on these guns actually is very cohesive actually with her design, her jacket, the yellow. Is that yellow or is that green? I've said before I'm slightly colorblind and much more colorblind when it comes to differentiating yellows and greens. That's yellow, isn't it? Lime. So green. Grello. Grella. Lean. Pistol wizard, pistol lizard, maybe pistol lizard who wields a claymore in Genshin. Who shares, also you guys said, who shares a VA with Ardelia? Wait, don't tell me. I know this. I know this. I know this. I know this. Fufu. I got it all by myself. You guys saw. You saw where my eyes went. You guys usually see where my eyes go in these games.
Consider me.
I guess it makes sense because she's not supposed to be an on-field DPS. It surprised me how slow she shoots. Fetch? Did she say fetch? Don't phase her out of existence. What are you, crazy? Arcane is not box. What? Who's due?
Now, you're in command. I will uphold the honor of the Yingwons.
Have another! Weak point targeted! Here I command the ebb and flow for a sunlit earth of life!
Damn!
Chaos shall be quelled!
All right. Play with eye tracker. Don't even. I don't know why I want her to. I think it's because she's a dual wielder. Then I'm like, why aren't you just like going like full Hollywood? Unless you have to time it. No, it's no different than if you just mash the button. That was one of my a point of pride when I used to shoot competition, is that my record that I was able to not like a record, not like I did it once, but I regularly was able to cold from a draw, present, get on target, and have my first shot in the A zone inside 1 second. So hands at your side, timer beeps, and on target in the A zone with your first shot inside 1 second. I was proud of that. It took a lot of work to do that. It's not as easy as you might think, because it's not like we were shooting 2 feet away from you. That's neither here nor there. Let's make next time a quest, quest rampage. Quest rampage? I'm cooking up something fun for you guys. That's exact same. I'm on the residential team, actually. I'm cooking up something fun for you guys for when we enter Snezhnaya. It's not gonna be like a big like review type video, but it's a very important. Feels like a very important epoch in my streaming career and in my Genshin career. And it relates to places that I've been. Like, I can remember the life stage I was at, synchronized up to certain video games I played. Like, when I think of Mario World, I can remember, like, the feeling of my grandparents' carpet, playing it on my Game Boy Advance at Christmas. Things like that, you know? So, coming to the final of the Seven Nations is a huge deal. So I'm gonna commemorate that with something fun for you guys. I won't be streaming the day it drops, but the day after we'll be doing probably a pretty big stream. That'll be Wednesday for me, I believe. That's crazy. 1 week from now, I'll be streaming Snezhnaya. Should be fun. Thanks again, everyone. Appreciate you. Love you lots. I'll see you next time. Be good to one another. Drink water. Thanks again.